Hello to you, beautiful people. My name is Noa Lakshmi, and I'm here to elevate humanity for a better world. And thank you so much for joining me because we are doing this together. Yes, if you are a returning viewer, then thank you for returning. And if you are a new viewer to my channel, welcome. And I am here using astrology as a tool to help us navigate through this human experience, through this crazy ride that we call life. And thank you so much for joining me. If you would like to know more about who I am and the work that I do in the world, personal readings and more, please go to my website, noalakshmi.com, to find out more about me and to connect with me if you so choose. Okay, now let's dive in. I was so excited to make this video. Sometimes there's the energy is so potent that I can hardly wait. I could hardly wait to get home from whatever I was doing to flip the camera and record this video. And also I know just people are going through it. And I talked to a dear friend of mine yesterday, and I told him, April is definitely the most intense month of 2017. And he's like, I'm really glad to hear that because I don't think I can handle more. And of course, we can always handle more. But the fact is, what's happening right now, and this is a big part of what I want to talk about, is, there's the great realignment that is happening. The sun is in the sign of Aries. And that happens every year, so start paying attention to what's going on for you during March, April, when the sun is in Aries. But this particular year is very, very intense when it comes to that. Now, the sun being in Aries is really is emphasizing and amplifying and highlighting our ego. That's really what is being highlighted with the sun being in Aries, and it's our ego, it's our identity, and all the identities that we have for ourselves, and it can be anything, whatever you identify yourself with. I put that under the umbrella of identity. If you can identify, like maybe you identify yourself as a business person, or you identify yourself with a job, you identify yourself with being a parent, you identify yourself for your profession, you identify yourself with a certain characteristics maybe that you've carried throughout your life. And when the sun, now what's happening right now with the sun being in Aries and the ego and the identities all being highlighted, the sun has gone through a lot, and I talked about it last week. It was opposing Jupiter, it was squaring Pluto, which is complete, the death and the internal conflict. We can feel darkness and light, the releasing of the ego, but still battling, like I want to keep this identity, and at the same time it's like, no, but there's something new, because Aries is also about a complete new cycle, a complete new identity. It's so funny, like it start raining right now, it's amazing. But here's the big hoopla that is happening tomorrow. So today is Wednesday in North America, the 12th of April. The sun is 1 degree away from planet Uranus. So not only that the sun went through so much with Jupiter and Pluto, she's about to meet Uranus. It's already very close, which amplifies this intensity. Uranus is the awakener. Uranus is the big awakening. It's the shock factor. It's the unpredictability. But I like to see it as the awakener. And when the sun, after going through so much, the expansion of Jupiter, the death and rebirth of Pluto, and the deep soul transformation, what is being offered to us right now with the sun meeting Uranus is that reinvention. That's what Uranus is all about. And it really depends on how conscious you are and how not conscious you are to what's happening in your life. That's when Uranus acts as the slap in the face. It acts as the really shocking thing that needs to wake us up. But if you have been paying attention to the signs that life has been giving you, I'm not saying that the potential of it being shocking and unpredictable is definitely on the table, but it's not going to be so so hard, because Uranus can be like traumatic as well. So it doesn't have to leave a scar. It doesn't have to be so traumatic. It doesn't have to be like such a slap in the face. It's really, that's why I love making these videos, to bring the awareness, to help you to become more aware and more conscious of what's happening in your life, and to really pay attention to the signs, because the signs have been pointing us to wake up to a new identity, to wake up to a new you. And if you've been still holding on to a certain identity or to an ego structure that you've built for yourself, it's going to be really, really tough from an ego perspective. So the more you can let go, of all those identities or whatever it is that you're holding on to that is really blocking you from your highest ascension, because that's what Uranus is all about. It's to the stars and beyond. It's your ascension. It's your highest and greatest potential. But when we hold on to something, not letting it go because of fear, and that's really coming from an egoic place, that's when Uranus is like, okay, we've got to bring the electricity up a little bit more, like amp up the shock factor to wake us up. So, we're feeling all this intensity, and I like to call it, like I said, it's the great realignment that is happening right now. And this is a great realignment that has to happen. I talked about it last week. We've got to align our heart's desires with our actions. We've got to align our thoughts with our action. But more than anything else, it's really aligning our heart's desires with our action. Venus is such a potent, dominant energy in this month of April. And you can watch the video that I made for the entire month of April. And I talked about it last week, just how significant Venus is. No matter which angle I look at the chart, it keeps coming back to Venus. So love in our heart is so emphasized right now. And Venus is in a tough spot, which adds to everything that we are feeling, that not only, the universe is pulling us in the direction of like, you've got to let go. You've got to let go of those identities. You've got to let go of this old you. You've got, and this pulling. And Venus is at a very tough spot, like our heart, feeling quite sensitive, feeling quite vulnerable. A lot of emotional turmoil that we are feeling, that is all part of this great awakening and bringing you closer to yourself and bringing you closer to what is true to you. What are your true heart desires? Venus has stopped, and she's going to go direct on the 15th. That's why this is a very significant week, and Venus is going direct on the 15th this weekend. But she has stopped, and she's in a very tough position close to Chiron. Talked about it last week. She's squaring Saturn. It's the hard choices. There's some hard choices that are in front of you that maybe are in conflict with your heart, maybe are in conflict with your ego as well and your thoughts. But you've got to have the courage and the will to follow your heart desires. And you're going to get a boost of more of that courage and the will towards the end of the month. I promise you that. What I want to encourage you to do right now is to really listen to your heart. And it's very important to go into that inward space. I'll keep mentioning that over and over again throughout this month in April, because it's important to go within and to reevaluate and rethink, especially now that Mercury is in retrograde as well. And it's going to go back to Aries. We are looking at our identities. We are looking at the question, at this existential question of who am I? Who do you want to be? And of course, the relationships in your life are so big, and I'm going to talk about it again because it's important. Who are the people that you want to continue on the path with, and who are the people that you cannot continue on the path with? That's a big, big thing, and that's where, the sensitivity and the tough position that we can be in, that we can feel so much love for somebody, but at the same time, we realize we can no longer continue together. If it's friendship, if it's a business partnership, if it's a romantic partner, even family dynamics, on some level. And if it's not going separate ways, it's the necessary adjustments that have to happen right now in order for the next chapter to unfold, in order for the next level to present itself to you individually and in relationships, in order to find balance and harmony within the relationship and within yourself. So yeah, the hard choices that you've got to follow. Oh, I'm going to say here that, it is very intense and there's so much going on. And at the same time, there's this really almost palatable energy right now that is helping us to manifest and really create everything that we desire, really manifest our heart desires. But we need to be willing to go through this process of realignment. Like whatever the misalignment in your life, even the subtle things of where are you not aligned, where are you out of integrity, with Saturn being retrograde in Sagittarius, where are you out of integrity? And you've got to go through the hard choices and the hard decision maybe to bring yourself into that alignment, to have the discipline. It's really important to have the discipline right now and to see the places in your life, and that's what's going to be shown to us, and that's what's being shown to us, which can be tough, all the places where we self-sabotage ourselves, which, stem from a lack of self-love. Venus being in retrograde, going back to Pisces and then into Aries again, is are you compassionate with yourself? Do you love yourself really enough to follow your heart desires? And then if we say, yes, I do, I commit myself to myself, then we're going to see, wow, all the places where I do self-sabotage myself, where I self-sabotage myself in not pursuing my dreams or not following up with what I said I would do, self-sabotaging myself in relationships, blocking love. How are you blocking love in your life? How are you blocking love in your life? If it's blocking love from yourself and then blocking love from other people, all of that is being shown to us very, very strongly right now. And in Venus in Pisces and all this Libra energy, the full moon that we had in Libra, we can feel like, I just kind of want to chill out, and I don't want to have the discipline, and I don't want to do all these things. And it's really important to maintain the discipline and to maintain the commitment, and then to find the balance, to not completely I'm just going to chill out, or I'm just going to be disciplined and do all these things. That you've got to find the balance right now. And that's what the full moon in Libra helped us to see, is how can we find more balance to bring about more harmony and peace in our lives and in our relationships. So that's a loaded week. On the 19th, the sun is going to move into Taurus, and after the 20th, 21st, towards the end of the month, things are just going to settle down a little bit. But I want to encourage you to stay on your game right now, to have the faith, to commit to yourself, to have the discipline to do the things that keep you centered, that keep your peace, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter how many energies are pulling on you. If you have that inner peace within you, nothing can steal your peace. You can have massive chaos around you and 10,000 things pulling on you, and you can still stay in your centered. And that's what I want to invite you to do, because there is a lot going on. And don't be afraid to let go of old identities and old ego structures that are just so not you anymore. Okay. Thank you so much. That is my message for you for this week. If you are liking these videos, then please share and subscribe to my channel. If you are wanting to know more about me and the work that I do in the world, go to my website, noalakshmi.com. I would love to hear from you. Get your own personal reading, or if you'd like to work one-on-one with me on a more longer term basis, then find me on my website, noalakshmi.com. I'm sending you so much love and so much light. Stay awesome, stay beautiful, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Sat Nam.